everybody, GB4576 here. Today, we have our new death battle premiering right now. Blade vs. Buffy. Marvel vs. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I am going to be completely honest. I am rooting for Blade. Blade just seems really cool, and I've seen him in Deadpool and Wolverine, and he was one of the best side characters in that movie. Also, I have never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've heard of it. My mom is a big fan of it. She was a big fan of it back in the day when she watched it. It ended a long time ago. But yeah, apparently this matchup is actually very close. Like the G1 prediction blog that they do to predict the outcome, 7 people voted for Blade and 11 people voted for Buffy. Yeah, this is going to be a very close fight, and it's also going to be in live action, our first one in 5 years. So, with that being said, let's just get into this. 3, 2, 1, go. Unmute that.
Yeah.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
I mean,
our job
Blade
to
is
analyze
part
their weapons,
vampire.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. They are known by
Alucard.
many names. Revenant, Vortala,
Helsing
Nosferatu.
Ultimate's really funny.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day, Blade.
Is that really
that's
his
a
costume?
very funny outfit. That's
now
better.
there's a man who doesn't file his taxes.
Yep,
Blade is
Blade
one
does
of the
not file his
coolest
taxes.
superheroes ever.
By Blade, I
and
mean Wesley
basically
Snipes.
kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And
Yeah,
yet,
shout out to
he
Blade.
is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
I mean, he's
Blade
got it
doesn't need
handled,
anyone's
so
help.
who
He'll
really
just
needs
horrify
he doesn't
by
really need
himself.
anyone help.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the
Didn't
young
know he was
Eric
100
Brooks'
years
mother
old.
was in labor,
I-
her attendant
Make
doctor
that new
turned
movie,
out to
Marvel.
be the vampire
Yeah, Marvel.
Deacon Frost.
Make the
And he
movie.
drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused
Didn't know he was
Eric
a
with
jazz
Frost's
trumpeter.
vampiric blood,
Cool.
turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone
That's
these
neat.
abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts.
Okay.
And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds
Though
immediately
Blade's been
and
incapacitated
sniff out
stabbing,
the
his healing
supernatural
factor
with
is
his
powered through
hypersenses.
implement and secondary
Also,
material.
his fangs can drain his
Wait, there's a
victims
Blade
of
anime?
magical energies.
After studying the
neat.
ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung
Guys.
Fu.
While the
Let's
only
see.
martial
He's got his fangs, his magical energy siphoning, hypersenses, immortality, regeneration, shapeshifting, berserk mode, and martial
art
arts.
he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So
That's
for
cool.
the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy
I think that
takedowns,
means
and
total
I guess
of
you could
8
call him
martial arts.
Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed
Marvel's
smoothly
Batman
until
is like
Afari
Moon
was
Knight.
attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's
'Cause
right
Blade's
there.
got it.
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade
Yep,
took a page
all
out of the
the
Book of
weapons.
Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable.
Wait, what the hell's boy thing? Never mind, I don't think I want to know. Anti-hypnosis goggles, flame gauntlets. Yeah, the breathing gun is what we saw at the end of the teaser, so I'm curious about what that is.
He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives
All the
make up the
weapons.
brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut
Yeah.
right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade
That's
has
cool.
even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm
think this is new
intangible
stuff that
demons,
wasn't in the
and the
preview.
Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah,
That's
he's
neat.
got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its
Well,
sentient
Buffy's
bullets
not a
chase
demonic
its
force,
victims
so
down. The wounds
I
they
don't think she
cause
is.
cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt hell.
In the same comic fight where the breathing gun harmed him, Cosmic Ghost Rider defended attacks from Captain Marvel that could, quote, melt through a star.
Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a
Well, this is the Insomniac version of Miles. Insomniac Miles is Pyre Empire with mainline Spider-Man. Okay.
bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the spirit
That was
of vengeance.
15 megaton of
Zarathos.
TNT.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
Oh, he
I
defeated
probably would too
Zarathos.
if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does
Okay.
have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more
All
so
the
after
blood.
he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire
Okay.
nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly,
cool.
Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body
Ooh.
and blow you up from the inside out,
I wonder if that
Ant-Man
might
style.
come into
With
a
you with
play.
the Ant-Man. Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing,
Okay,
let
that's
Marvel's
Boy Thing.
vampires
Okay,
beware.
that's fine.
For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Ooh, that was a good ending line. Oh,
Today's
Prize
battle
Pick
is sponsored
sponsor.
by Prize Picks
You know,
and touchdowns. I guess I'm just
Okay, so yeah, that was Blade's analysis, and yeah, he's really cool. I definitely like him a lot. I'm rooting for him to win, but I don't know. I mean, I'll have to see what Buffy's got first before I decide. But so, we'll see. Because I know that those novels apparently get wacky. Although since he's defeated Zarathos, that might mean something in the long run.
in every generation there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For
Buffy
thousands
the
of years, a
Vampire
new Slayer
Slayer.
would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think
Let's
is.
see. Buffy Ann Summers, 5'4", waitress, counselor, law enforcement, love interests, all these guys. at least two deaths. Founder and president of Third Magic Council likes ice capades, James Beater, Christian Slater, pineapple pizza. Disgusting.
The savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher
Well,
Merrick appeared
well, I don't
and
think the
revealed
Christian
her
Slater
destiny.
one might be realistic.
Total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school.
Uh-oh.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale
Hey, don't make
just
fun
so
of the
happened to be
effects,
right on top
Boomstick.
of a hellmouth,
They did what they
where the
could.
boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy.
So I actually showed my mom this clip from the preview and asked her if she was accurate, or if this was accurate, and she said it is. So, congratulations, Death Battle. They're accurate.
He and her Scooby Gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that
See,
can...
so you got the crossbow, knives and stakes, Morning Star, don't know what that is, grenades, flamethrower, rocket launcher, hellfire launcher, so they both got hellfire, that's cool. Hope's dagger, laser rifle, Olaf's hammer, and these two. I don't know how to pronounce this, and razor blades.
turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes,
Okay,
swords,
that's cool.
quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
Yeah,
You
epic
said
weapons.
it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also
I really hope that in that clip there was just no previous build up to that rocket launcher, and she just pulls it out of nowhere. I really hope that's the case, but probably not.
a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy
That was
apparently
13
thinks Hong Kong's
martial
kung
arts,
fu movie
opposed to
masters
Blade's
could learn
8.
a thing or two.
No kidding.
So,
Thanks to her Slayer senses,
Buffy
her
knows more
reflexes are
martial
fine-tuned
arts.
enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to
Okay.
bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive
How
massive
does
explosions,
smashing
like the one that
cause
destroyed
that to
Cephalia's lair
happen?
that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough
Healing,
to be totally fine by
senses,
the next
martial arts.
episode.
One time, Angel
Superhero
sucked out
resistance to a
almost
lot of
all of the
stuff,
blood from her body,
and Slayer
and she
mode.
survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly
She can
resilient to
survive
esoteric attacks,
resistance
like when
to
she
magic
expelled
training.
this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
Eh.
She might
Just
not
fine.
show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge
Okay,
burden
here's
on
new
Buffy's
stuff.
life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst
Maybe
enemies
it
are
is.
the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating
I think
back to
that's
the
like-
Stone Age.
yeah, that's
Buffy has
thousands
dreamt
of
of
years.
every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those
Buffy can tap into her skills subconsciously. She can react without thinking. Has spider sense, fighter potential even after memory.
skills in a fight,
Okay.
even
So she's got
subconsciously.
spider
But
sense.
this
Okay.
includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy
ha,
sacrificed
Very
herself to
funny.
save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Yeah.
Finally
Yeah,
freed of her
Boomstick.
unfair earthly responsibilities,
She saved
Buffy's
the world
soul
a lot.
ascended to heaven in perfect bliss.
And then she came back.
Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of
I
course,
don't know
both
what that
Buffy and her
means.
friends have
Okay.
defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow
I don't
Demon,
know
which
how
caused
that
a storm
translates
that
to, like,
blanketed
TNT.
Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against
okay.
the first evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The, Slayer Scythe!
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say
Okay.
it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the
Oh,
essence
okay.
of Buffy's Slayer
M
powers and
question
created
mark
to defeat.
Scythe. Counterpart to Excalibur, Forge Kill Old Ones, contains the essence of Slayer powers, cuts through magic, power absorption, magical wards. This scythe conceived a child with Willow in the novels. Don't ask.
These ancient demons,
Okay, I
the
won't.
scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe
Okay.
is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Title drop. I think, to be honest, I think the demons are probably just gonna wait for her to die before they come back.
Hey, as you know,
Hey,
it's
remember
Skeletober.
You mean October?
Yeah, no,
No, stupid, it's
Skeletober.
the Skeletober Celebration.
Buy the
I don't get
skeleton
it.
merch.
Come on, don't you watch Death Battle Cast? And for the
I
first time
occasionally watch
ever,
it.
we've got Skeletober merch on the Dead
Okay, let's skip
Limited
ahead for this.
Over.
And we've run.
Okay.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a live-action Death Battle!
Okay. I don't know who's gonna win. Because, like, on one hand, Blade defeated people like Zarathos, who are threats to infinite Marvel multiverse scaling. But it was also, like, using a weapon that was specifically Zarathos was weak to, that Buffy isn't. So, but Buffy has, like, a lot of big stat buffs from those novels. So I really don't know who's gonna win. If I had to make one guess, probably Buffy, since my favorite guy's not allowed to win unless it's a big stomp. Or if it's Bowser. But I just want to see a really gory kill. Like, they said there's going to be a lot of gore in this. That's the main thing I'm looking forward to. So let's just get into this. Here we got the cinematic angles. Or cinematic aspect ratio. For all those extras that are in the credits. I think that was Austin on the... Hey, there's Sam. I don't know if I recognize any of the cast or extras. There's Buffy. Imagine a lot of these people are vampires. Yep. All the vampires. Blade.
Kings, long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And Chief, that's just the start.
Oh! Oh ho ho! Doesn't really feel like Blade versus Buffy right now. Feels like a crossover. This is awesome. Oh, right in the eye! I get two of them at once. Oh. Music's going hard. Oh, is that? I think that was Liam. Ooh, turn on the sunlight! Well, vampires are gone now. Oh, he got bit. There's a breathing gun.
Wait!
Oh, she dead. Okay, time for the fight.
She was just a kid!
Not anymore.
Okay, fight time now. How many crossbows you got, Buffy? Okay, she's got her sword out. I don't really know how I feel about Blade having a man bun. I mean, I know it's just the actor's hair, but I think you gotta, like, cut it for this. What if that's his choice? Ooh, he knocked off the sunglasses. She knocked off the sunglasses.
You out your damn mind?
Alright, fight. Oh, right on a toilet. What the hell? Oh, you dropped your thing in it. Oh, right in her. Yeah, that ain't gonna kill her.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
There, is that the line? I feel like those sunglasses are gonna come back. Oh, right on his face. Oh, she got her scythe. Oh, there goes the breathing gun. Oh! Right in her leg. Oh, he's gonna bring out his adamantium sword. Yep, here we go.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Oh! Right in the face. I mean, Blade hasn't gone to like his big freak out form yet, mode yet. And this is gonna be our fake out moment. Yep. Yep. There it is. Cut through his head and the sword. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah! There's the gore I wanted. This is the theme song to Buffy. Yep, there's the sunglasses.
Like you got ahead of yourself.
Ha 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 ha! Joss Whedon dialogue.
Heyo! To be Blade tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than
Oh
Blade.
wow!
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that can wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's
got
got
way
plenty of
more
experience
experience.
fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have
Yeah,
more
except
personal experience,
she has, like,
Buffy's
all
ability
the
to draw on
Slayer's
Slayer
memories.
battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump
Yeah, I
cards.
thought so.
Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer Sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable
Guy cannot hurt
adamantium
holy.
sword. Don't believe us?
Hurt holy
Even
beings.
Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse-devouring god, I think it could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final
Fine.
advantage
I get
over
it.
the Daywalker.
Don't have to
Really
like
thought
it.
Blade had a chance,
But
but
it's
Buffy
fine.
sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, next time. My guess is going to be like Aang versus Traveler. That's my guess. Or maybe the Torian episode. Who knows? Let's see.
Next time on Death Battle.
What do we got? Is that Clive? Clive Rossfield from Dante?
Subscribe and join
Oh,
as a member
shit!
to see more Death
Live!
Battle.
Hell
Thanks
yeah!
for watching.
That was not what I was expecting at all. But you know what? That is really cool. If I had to guess, that's probably going to be the Torian episode. Because, I don't know, it just seems like something he'd do. Because apparently he really likes Final Fantasy. So yeah, that was Blade vs. Buffy. And, okay, good. I was recording the audio for that. I was unaware if I was or not. Yeah, that was definitely a really cool fight. I'm sad Blade didn't win, but it's fine. I can live with it. Only have one Marvel win in this entire season, though. So yeah, that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please check out another video of mine, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!